Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So the coronavirus chaos reigns supreme in our world at the moment, or at least it does in my world. So I've got much more free time than I'm used to, so I'll probably be doing quite a few tarot videos. I'm open for private readings because I've got all this extra time. So if you are looking to have a very specific question answered through a tarot reading, or you're just a bit bored and are looking for some sort of entertainment, then I am your gal. Contact me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com and I'll get right back to you and we can sort out a reading for you. But today we're going to look at how you are personally going to be affected by the coronavirus. That's not to say I'm going to tell you that you're going to be infected. Oh no. This is just how your world is going to be affected by everything that's going on. Personally, I find it near impossible to go shopping and get the supplies that I need. I'm lucky that I live in a big city, so there's quite a few supermarkets locally. It took me going into 4 supermarkets to get the supplies that I needed for the week because the shelves were bare. I imagine it's probably exactly the same way you live, so at least I feel that I'm not alone. But yeah, I thought it'd be entertaining for us to have a look to see exactly how the coronavirus is going to affect us. So remember, it's a general reading and it's not aimed at you specifically. You need a private reading for that. So just take it all generally and just take what fits and ignore the bits that don't make any sense to you. So I've set out 3 readings. We've got the garden as number 1, number 2 is the mouse, and number 3 is the stork. I'm putting the timestamps in all the usual places. So go ahead, make your choice, click on the timestamp, and I shall see you at your reading. Okie dokie. So number 1's the garden. How's coronavirus going to affect you? I think actually what it's going to cause you is to create some sort of plan, to create, whether you've got an ambition, I think it's going to cause you to structure something. And I think you're going to be able to do this because you are going to be restricted in some way. I mean, we all are, you know. But I think because you're going to be stuck in one place, not being able to see, to do things, you know, it's sort of a moment of weirdness that we're going through. It's going to force you to stay literally in one place. You might find at some point that you, even if you don't self-isolate, what you're going to find is that you don't go anywhere. This is the phase that I'm in that it's not that I'm ill or I need to self-isolate. I can go out, but there's nowhere to go out to. Places are closing down. The theatres, my big theatre, the Rep, is cancelled its productions. Concerts are being cancelled. Pubs are being closed. So if I wanted to socialise with my friends, I can't really unless we all went out for a walk. So some of you, I think, will probably do that where you get out into the fresh air. But I think on a more deeper level, this is going to cause you to take control of something and create a plan in order for you to spread your wings. I think this is going to be an opportunity for you to actually create a bit of change in your life. So if you've been thinking about doing something but have lacked the incentive to do it or the time to do it, this sort of enforced change is going to cause you to focus on it and do it. I almost feel like if you've always wanted to create something, like write a book or something, you're going to stay in and plan out how you're going to write the book and then you're going to do it. I feel some of you might travel somewhere and then get locked down. I think there's a weird suggestion here of being free but also not being free and being restricted and sort of. But I don't feel at any point you're going to lose any control over your life. So lucky you, number 1s. That it's really not going to impact your life in a big way. I think it's going to impact, I think it's something that you want to do. I think that you've been perhaps working towards something, and this is just the opportunity for you to focus on where you're going to do, like doing research on something. But for others of you, I think you're going to be doing lots of stuff online and being stuck indoors. So you might do lots of research, and then launching a project because you've had the time to commit to it. I think you're going to be full of energy and pep and vigour and desire to do things. But equally, I think that the coronavirus is going to impact you in that it's going to drag you down a bit. I think by the end of it, you'll have had enough. That you're ready to get out and get back to normality. That you're ready to, just be normal. So I think the best advice for you is to take advantage of this time where you can't do things you normally would, and actually create a few plans and dedicate some time to something. And it's something you can be in charge of. I think it's a solitary thing. I think it's something where you're in charge of it, you're working on your own, you're independent, and you're the authority on it. But there is a sense of restriction, but also not restriction. So if you are ending up being a bit, isolated, the government shuts everything down, there's no point for you to leave your house. You can soar in other ways and sort of create a journey on and do things in other ways. So it's not a complete loss for you. I feel actually you can create or do something really valuable and really good for you during this period with the coronavirus. So I think it's going to have a positive impact on you, even though I think you're going to be a bit frustrated at points that you can't do things normally. You're going to make excellent use of your time. So keep that in mind when times get frustrating, when you get fed up, that in fact what you can do is keep things going. And that's it, basically. There's something you can do in this time, this strange time, that's of ultimate good for you, and it's to do with planning and determination. It's about focusing on something. So I'm going to leave that there for you. It's just a nice little reading, nothing too intense, and I hope you don't suffer any ill health or any serious disruption during this weird time. Please take very good care of yourself. Do everything that your local authorities and governments tell you to during this weird time, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay then, number 2's the mice. Let's just get it over with. This is really going to affect you. There's lots about being really tired out in the cold, being on your own, being logical, things taking, being stagnant, sort of in a state of suspension. But also the silver lining on this cloud is you've got the 10 of Cups. I think you're going to be full of love. I feel this is being stuck in the house a lot. I feel this is not being able to get, people are stockpiling like mad. This feels to me like you're going to be, trying to get the food and the shelves are empty. You're trying to just get some things for the freezer and you can't really get the food that you need. I think you're going to be tired and sort of fed up of it all. And the Hermit just speaks to me of isolation. So there might be some reason, whether it's, I haven't got any cards that would suggest to me ill health, but you might be a little bit ill. But this speaks to me of being stuck in with the family and being sensible and logical about it. I think it's going to cause you to draw on your being strong side and being rational rather than emotional. I think you're going to learn a lot from this. I think it's going to cause you to be a wiser person at the end of it. And I think it is going to leave you happy, actually, weirdly. I think although you've got lots of troubles and this feeling of that it's going on forever, what you come out with it at the end is of greater value than anything else you ever could have had. I think, yeah. I would say you got a terrible time with it, but you've got the 10 of Cups. You're going to have a happy ever after. So even if it's a case of spending a fortnight, 2 weeks at home thinking how am I going to eke out these dried pasta packets, and you've had enough of eating the same food over and over again, you're going to come out of it all right. I think there's just this feeling that it's, for you, interminable. It's just, why is it carrying on for so long? So, I mean, I would like to give you a really lovely upbeat reading, but you're the one that's picked this is going to be wearing on you. And I do feel that there's a case of that you self-isolate, or at the very least, in a sense like me, you can't do anything because everything's shut. You can go to work, you can get your food shopping, and that's it. Your social life is going to be... But you get to spend time with your family. So if you live with your family, you are going to be socialising with your family an awful lot more than you're used to. It's almost like exclusively. And that's possibly for some of you why it feels like it's going to be lasting forever. But yeah, you're going to keep your head though. You're not going to get overly emotional and overly distressed. You're more than capable of coping with this. You know, this is the strength comes through in this, and that's why you're going to come out of it wiser and a better person, because you can handle it, basically. But yeah, so no matter how, you know, you might have a few dark nights of the soul, you might have a few nights where you're like, I can't go on with this anymore. I just want to be able to do something. I want to meet with my friends and have a drink. And you can't. You'll be all right at the end of it. You will be all right at the end of it. There's just a case of that you might feel that you can't get the things that you need because everybody's going insane and clearing out shelves and just picking every shelf bare. Probably of food they'd never eat. So I'm going to leave it there for you. Don't feel bad or, oh no. You are going to have a great happy ending. You've got the 10 of Cups, which really lightens everything else up, so you are going to have all right with your family, good times with your family, happy home. There's a heart on the house, so everything's going to be fine at home. So I'm going to leave that there for you. It was only meant to be a nice little reading. You take care of yourself. Listen to everything your government, your local authorities say about, you know, what to do wherever in the world you're watching this. And yeah, take care of yourself. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okie dokie. Those that chose number 3, the Stork. Here's your little snippet of how the coronavirus is going to affect you. It's going to affect you for a long time. This is going to take a while to go through. I think as well that actually you've got a lot of wand energy here and a lot of sword energy. So I think it's going to cause you to be more outgoing and more passionate, more adventurous. I think it's going to, you might have the feeling of like, oh my God, going through this is insane. I'm going to do more exciting things. I'm going to be more vibrant and follow my passions more. You're certainly going to be more confident and more willing to take risks. But there's also a feeling here that it's a bit of a burden on you. It's a bit tiring. It's a bit wearing. You're sort of looking forward for it to be over, because it's going to impact you for quite some time. Not forever, but it's just going to take a bit longer for the whole process, for wherever you are in the world to be worked through. And I think you're going to be using your brain a lot. I think you're going to be writing a lot, or at least talking a lot, or thinking a lot, or, you know, working on stuff. If it's not physically writing, whatever your medium is, you're going to be working on it a lot. And I think it's the mind aspect that's going to have a big impact on you. I think although you want to go out and do things and use lots of energy, you might not be able to. Some of you are. Some of you are living in a place where it's not going to physically impact you too much. I think you might still be able to get out and do stuff. But my instinct is that others of you are going to be really just stuck doing stuff in your head. So you might be reading a lot as well, or, watching TV a lot. I think it is going to tire you out. I think it is going to be a wearing thing where you're sort of, oh God, how much longer? I think you are going to be communicating more. I don't know whether you are a communicator anyway, but you're going to be talking a lot more about this, or a lot more, and writing down things and coming out and saying stuff and not being afraid to come out and say stuff. I think it's going to bring out a lot of change, possibly for some of you, a lot of change where you're a lot more confident, a lot more articulate and a lot more willing to come out and, come out and say stuff rather than be passive. You're going to be more active. And I think with your communication, you're going to be a lot more active as well. And I think, logical in that sense about using your brain a lot more. But there's a lot of energy here, a lot of energy. It's going to revive you. It's going to make you energetic in some way. So I'm leaning towards a lot of you doing a job, whether you work in medicine or in a hospital or, something like that. This is, you have to work harder at this time. You have that kind of career that causes you to have to work more at this time, but also that it's going to cause you to really stretch the limits of your brain, your mind. But it's going to be a long time doing these things, but it's going to be good for you. It's going to revive you energetically and revive you and get your juices flowing in your brain creatively, I want to say as well. But certainly logically, so if you're not an artist and you don't, in that sense, there's still something with your brain in the way that you process. Maybe you write, as I say, or you could podcast, or you could just talk about what you notice and journal things. But this is a good time for you, actually. This is a good time for you to work on being this sort of person, because the circumstances are conducive to it. But it's going to feel like a very long time for you, and it's going to be like it's happening forever, but also that there's good that can come through this time. So that's how the coronavirus is going to affect you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please listen to everything your government says in regards to how to deal with it. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself, and goodbye.